Is Wicca real? Now, we've been through 5 relatively short videos in which I read my essay with that title, Wicca, Is It Real? And it has this otherworldly flavor, doesn't it? Very strongly so. But yet, there are huge numbers of people who are embracing it. And it's growing very significantly. And that's just the reality of it. And so here we're faced with what is this? On the one hand, we don't want to get caught up with something that is potentially dangerous, and I think that it is. So I'm going to end the program, part number 12, with my evaluation as a Christian. How it is, as an individual, as I see what Wicca is. So I'm going to read from my paper and comment along the way as well. Is Wicca real? After all, it has to do with fairies, elves, gnomes, ghosts, and far more. Is it a game of make-believe? Do Wiccans really believe in what they're doing? That crossed my mind. Do they really believe in what they're talking about? Do they really think they are talking to dead ancestors and even communicating with gods and goddesses? Or is it something else? Make-believe. Or is it something more? Is its reality different than even Wiccans themselves understand? The worldview held by Wiccans is that energy, live energy, is supposedly everywhere and in everything, and can be manipulated by spells and rituals. If Wiccans are right, is science wrong when it sees energy not as spiritual or personal, but as something that can be empirically measured and observed? Or is there something unknown or at least unrecognized behind Wicca? Could there be a demonic element? Yes, Wiccans go ballistic when accused of being in league with the devil, but how do they know they're not? From a Christian's perspective, Wicca embraces what the Scriptures condemn. In Torah, the Old Testament, Deuteronomy chapter 18, verses 10 to 20, 10 to 12, list pagan practices that were ubiquitous in the ancient world and which the people of Israel were to reject as false. Here's what it says. There shall not be found among you anyone who burns his son or his daughter as an offering. Anyone who practices divination, or tells fortunes, or interprets omens, or a sorcerer, or a charmer, or a medium, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For whoever does these things is an abomination to the Lord. Okay. Now, Wiccans don't burn sons and daughters. That took place among the Canaanites people in worshiping the god Baal and others. They don't burn sons and daughters or anyone else for that matter as offerings to appease idols. But the rest of it, the rest of what it said in Deuteronomy, well, you would have to say they routinely do the whole rest of it. Which might say, so what? I prefer to worship and practice my religion any way I want to, and I would heartily agree. However, it might be prudent to examine what else may be involved. This is not to say that Wiccans do not really communicate with spirits, angels, gods, and goddesses. I'm not saying they don't. I don't believe it's make-believe. I think it's all very real. They do in a way. I believe they encounter these entities and these deities, but they're not what they present themselves to be. The short and quick answer is that they are unclean or demonic spirits that are in disguise. Wiccans pertain to value Christianity, but in reality they hate it and fear it. They know that if the Scripture, the Bible, is correct, then they are in very deep trouble. Not only are they worshiping false gods, but they are fully engaged with and possessed by demons whose leader is Satan himself. And that's why you have the vehement denials of any involvement with Satan, at least most of them. There could not be a more disparate worldview than Christianity and Wicca, or biblically faithful Judaism for that matter. Whatever is gained in Wicca for the Wiccans, and there is something there, of course, the unsuspected loss is too much even to contemplate. This life is not child's play. It is life and death, and not merely of the physical kind. Their reincarnation is not taught in the Bible. The Scripture says it is appointed unto us to die once, and then there is the judgment. And that's the reality of it. Wiccans may become trapped by the very religion they practice. Inside them will likely be voices that shout at them to ignore those Bible-thumping Christians. The reason for this is that Jesus Christ is the only one who has power and authority over the demons who masquerade themselves as gods, goddesses, spirit guides, and more. A cosmic spiritual battle is underway here, and ultimately the true and real God will prevail. It's only a matter of time. For those Wiccans who have heard the video, or perhaps would read the essay as it is found at earthenvesseljournal.com, for those Wiccans who read this or see the videos, please see that this is an attempt to speak a word of hope to you. Because a lot of times what happens, people begin to think, and are told actually, that they have gone too far, that they are hopeless. They cannot go back. They have crossed over the line, and they are no longer welcome with the God of the Bible. Not so. Please also apply critical analysis to the religion to which you have committed yourself. Perhaps locate a sympathetic and understanding Christian leader to engage you in conversation. And I would be glad to do the same. You can contact me, and I probably won't ever look at comments made on the video. Maybe I will, but probably I won't, because I really can't get that engaged time-wise. But if you would contact me, I would be glad to engage with you, perhaps by email or by telephone. All right, so long. Thanks for watching the video.